In the hushed corridors of power, shadows whispered secrets that only the walls dared to remember. The crown, an emblem of authority and tradition, glinted in the dim light, but those who sought its weight felt its chilling presence in every whispered secret and unspoken vow. Before we go deeper into what this really means for the royal family, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single update. For within such an ancient monarchy, appearances were merely the surface on an unfathomable sea of intrigue and ambition. Generations of royals tread a tightrope between their public personas and private realities, each step a potential misstep into an abyss of scandal. While the world marveled at the regal splendor, a silent war waged in the shadows, where alliances formed and fell with the passing of each night. Kings and queens, bound by duty, often found themselves caught in a web spun by deceit and expectation. They wore crowns yet bore burdens unseen, shackled to traditions older than memory itself. The gentle rustle of silk gowns belied whispers of betrayal, secrets sewn into the seams of their opulent lives. In these whispered shadows, destinies were forged and forsaken, legacies built on foundations as fragile as the relationships they masked. It was here, in the labyrinthine halls of power, where the whisper of the past brushed shoulders with the demands of the present, setting the stage for a saga that defied time and reason. And as the story unfolded, it became clear. The crown's glittering exterior masked an empire riddled with intrigue, its rulers cloaked in unavoidable mystery. As we turn the page, the palace's silence prepares to reveal stories unsung beneath the gilded surface. Anne's footsteps echoed through the dimly lit corridors of the palace, a haunting reminder of the burdens she bore since her arrival. Whispers of her enigmatic past danced like shadows among the grand tapestries, leaving a trail of intrigue that courtiers and commoners alike couldn't ignore. Rumors unfurled like pages of a forbidden tome, their words dripping with tales of tragedy and triumph, casting her as both a pawn and a force to be reckoned with. Asterisk from a distant land, she emerged, cloaked in mystique and tales of a lineage as ancient as the hills. Asterisk her every move scrutinized, every spoken word dissected, as if the unraveling of her secrets held the key to the kingdom's future. Awaking each morning, Anne found herself wrapped in the gossamer of memories and mysteries, memories that at times were as vivid as the daylight spilling through stained glass. Her heart ached with recollections of laughter, love, loss, and an oath whispered to the winds, a promise that bound her fate to this kingdom. The majesty of her new role bore a dual edge, its splendor often eclipsed by the relentless glare of expectations. Asterisk yet, Anne's soul, tempered by fires unseen, shone brighter amidst the shadows of doubt and intrigue. Asterisk as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting regal shades across her face, she steeled herself for the revelations that the palace walls threatened to yield. For the secrets she held were not just her own, but echoes of a past entwined with the empire's legacy. But herein lay the irony, a kingdom poised on the precipice, held in balance by a monarch whose history was as murky as a moonless night. The court watched closely, hungry for any slip, any falter that might unveil the truth. She clutched close to her heart. Asterisk, and so, the unyielding march of time promised to disclose the enigmas of Anne, whispering to her, if these secrets were to remain veiled, they carried a cost the kingdom may not afford. Asterisk, within the heart of the kingdom's labyrinthine palace lies the secret chambers, whispering tales of shadowed intrigue and laden with the heavy burden of generations. Here, behind velvet-draped doors and beneath crystal chandeliers, the very air seems to tremble with the weight of untold secrets. It is said that the walls of these chambers have ears, listening to confidences that could unravel the fragile tapestry of power woven meticulously by the monarchs. It is within these clandestine alcoves that futures are forged and destinies undone, where the sheen of opulence conceals a more sinister undercurrent, a tantalizing game of trust and treachery played by all those who dare cross its threshold. The chamber was born out of necessity, a realm accessible only to the select few bound by blood and allegiance, a sanctuary and a prison forged in one. From within these shadowed corridors, the great power struggles of the realm were orchestrated, and the fate of millions balanced precariously on whispered decisions made in the dim glow of flickering candlelight. Midnight meetings and furtive exchanges pulsate like the very heartbeat of the monarchy itself. Here, alliances are clandestinely forged and broken with a smile. A theatrical performance of absolute authority, where one misstep could lead to ruinous downfall. Yet, amidst the grandeur and conspiracy, a presence moves like a ghost. Elara, the king's trusted confidant and perhaps his gravest threat. Her silver words wind their way through the minds of those who dwell here, sowing seeds of intrigue that blossom into full-fledged plots. The chambers echo with tales of her deft maneuvers, each secret she collects becoming a step higher in her ascent to unforeseen power. Her intentions remain obscured, wrapped in the gauze of mystery that hangs heavy in the air, a question waiting to be answered. Does she possess a greater plan, or is she merely a player in a game far more complex than any could foresee? Palms pressed firmly against the mahogany tables, voices rise and fall in a symphony of ambition. In this place where the light barely penetrates, every glance exchanged is laden with meaning, each silence a potential betrayal. The king remains isolated by choice, amidst the cacophony of courtiers, a solitary figure wrestling the demons summoned by his ambition. His vision of an unshakable empire seems to flicker on the brink of obscurity. The secrets contained within these walls a running threat to his reign. Each decision made here is a testament to the razor-thin line between triumph and obliteration. Every step forward, a dance with fate itself. And as these chambers hold fast the secrets of the monarchy's heart, another shadow takes shape, one not of this plane, the ghost of promises unkept and words unsaid. Where power thrives, a hunger keeps company, gnawing at those who allow themselves the luxury of contemplation. It is within this nexus, where deeds inked in whispers come to fruition, enveloped by an air heavy with anticipation, that the stage is prepared for a crescendo, the likes of which the kingdom has yet to see. The unraveling of the realm is woven inexorably into the fabric of the secret chambers, where power holds court and every doorway leads further away from return. But what awaits beyond the great doors, where velvet meets shadow, and what decisions will stand when truth finally bursts forth into light? Only time will tell, as the pulse of the secret chambers continues to thrum, waiting for the next chapter in the saga to unfold. With an expectant chill, the stories and plots of this sovereign labyrinth prepare to spill into the open air as silence yields to the impending storm. In the heart of the sprawling kingdom, the mask of royalty, once held so perfectly in place, began to fracture under the weight of secrets long buried in gilded vaults. Nothing could foretell the storm that hovered ominously above the majestic castle, its shadows stretching ominously alongside whispers of deceit, betrayal, and forbidden truths. Those who walked the hallowed halls felt the tight embrace of impending change, a palpitation that quickened pulse and silenced laughter. Every glance between courtiers was layered with hidden meanings, and every muted footstep echoed the last gasps of a golden era teetering on the edge of oblivion. The scintillating opulence of the court masked the myriad maneuverings below its surface, a place where power was both ephemeral and ever sought, its allure a glistening trap ensnaring the unwary. In the dim corridors behind closed doors, alliances crumbled as easily as they were formed, forged from fragile promises that danced perilously close to lies. The king, once revered, now seemed a spectral figure, his wisdom clouded by the velvet whispers of sycophants whose loyalty bore the price of gold and self-interest. Beneath his regal demeanor, a heart wrestled with shadows of decisions past, decisions that now crept into the realm of consequence, rattling the very foundations of legacy and destiny. Each breath drawn within those stone walls seemed laced with tension, yet the air remained ever silent, listening, observing, waiting for the truth's inevitable unveiling. But amidst this play of shadows, a new player emerged, stepping boldly into the light, their intentions shrouded in mystery, yet their presence undeniable. It was a time for decisions, those fateful choices that held the potential to shatter illusions and bring forth a dawn of reckoning, a moment where truth would finally stare back with unflinching eyes. As the kingdom held its collective breath, the fractured mask slipped further, revealing the raw vulnerability beneath its crafted elegance, a vulnerability that promised both ruin and redemption in equal measure. And there, on the slipping edge of revelation, the stage set for the ultimate contortion of fate. The past, ever stubborn in its pursuit, converged with the present, demanding answers to questions once cloaked in obfuscation. Yet, in the stillness of the chamber, a silence reigned supreme. The kingdom was drawn inexorably towards its reckoning, each heartbeat a drum, each moment a harbinger of the tectonic shift that awaited as the fracturing facade threatened to lay bare a truth long concealed. Amid the grandeur and jingling echoes of the royal halls, there existed a clandestine cadence, a rhythm known only to the shadows that silently hugged the walls and the whispers that never found voice. The legacy of the monarchy was not just one of glittering opulence and apparent harmony, but also of secrets that wound like ivy around the pillars of its enduring establishment. These whispers, faint yet pervasive, had the power to reshape destinies, to unravel even the most robust of thrones. For in the court, where alliances were as fragile as glass and trust a currency far scarcer than gold, every unspoken word held a weight that could tip the scales of history. It was underneath this heavy shroud of secrecy that the king navigated his reign. The public saw the benevolent figure standing on balconies, cloaked in velvet and grandeur, yet few perceived the flicker of weariness that danced briefly across his eyes. The king had inherited not just a crown, but a kingdom steeped in silent vows and unspoken pacts which, if unearthed, held the potential to rend the very fabric of his rule. There lingered stories of clandestine meetings, forbidden loves, alliances born of necessity, more than kinship, all vestiges of a past that refused to rest, its tendrils reaching out to strangle the present. Clandestine meetings, late-night rendezvous in the library cloaked in flickering candlelight, where trusted allies and benign adversaries alike would meet in secret, for the shadows were not always silent, furtively speaking in hushed tones, each word carefully measured, lest it slip and echo in the wrong ears, conspiring and weaving tales into the fabric of sovereignty. The walls of this regal edifice had witnessed more than their fair share of deception and restraint, overheard promises whispered not for love, but for survival. Yet, with every whispered rumor came the spectre of betrayal, a constant companion haunting every orchestration of power, hovering above every kiss and handshake. The corridors themselves seemed pregnant with tension, as if every frescoed wall and historical portrait bore witness to expanses of knowledge withheld, murmurs of revolution, of succession, of insurrection, lurking just beyond the edges of their vision. Each hall seemed to tell a story, the silent language of forgotten histories, revealed only to those who knew where to look, and more importantly, whom to listen to. However, it was the disquietude of these endless murmurs, these persistent unrecorded stories, which slowly began to fray the once tight threads of trust. It was within this murmur that someone, unnoticed, moved with careful precision, a single player in the dynastic drama who might tilt the script away from a future cemented in blood and ink. Who among them knew what awaited inside this treacherous quagmire of political subterfuge and familial discord? A realm where friends and foes were all but indistinguishable, and where the greatest enemies were often whose faces shared familiar features. And as the dawn broke, painting the morning sky with gold, a new chapter awaited. The whispered secrets of yore threatened now to find their voice, setting the stage for consequences that would forever alter the course of the throne. In the stillness of the vast royal corridors, beneath the gilded tapestries and haunting portraits, rumblings began, silent yet insistent, foretelling an upheaval unseen in centuries. As dusk painted the kingdom with shadows, whispers wound their way through chambers, echoing of ancient prophecies and a lineage burdened by secrets. Rumors lingered in the air like a lingering fog, thickening around the very throne room where decisions of fate had once been declared with absolute authority. But power, akin to a fragile alliance, had begun to fracture, and an unseen fault line snaked beneath the castle's foundation, threatening to unravel the very core of dominion. At the center stood a monarch, a figure of legends, sworn to uphold legacies unwritten and unwelcome. To the people, this sovereign was both a beacon of hope and a shadowed enigma, wrapped in the velvet of masked certainty, carrying within a heart weighed by the destiny thrust upon them. Their reign was thought unshakable, yet beneath the surface, an internal tremor betrayed a kingdom on the cusp of transition. Poised on this precipice, The eyes of allies and adversaries alike sensed an opportunity buried amidst chaos, waiting for the moment of inevitable divergence. The breach began subtly, like the whisper of a winter wind through broken windows, until its resonance grew, shaking the very roots of tradition. Scandals, hushed in cloistered halls, edged to the forefront, revealing vulnerabilities long concealed beneath crowns of gold and scepters of command. Each revelation was a fissure, a crack in the very bedrock of authority that the world had viewed as eternal. One by one, members of the inner circle, supposed guardians of the realm, revealed themselves not as steadfast allies but as contenders, each vying for a piece of the formless future. Alliances shifted with the quiet grace of chess pieces sliding across an awaiting board. Yet with each move, further uncertainty burgeoned. The tale stretched its fingers towards the past, tracing the lineage that once seemed pure to its untold complexities. Buried beneath generations of regal precedent were desires and choices that had shaped the course of history with an indelible but hidden hand. The king's own bloodline was questioned, unearthing declarations that challenged the very essence of rule and inheritance. Questions arose: who truly bore the weight of the crown, and how had history been rewritten by those who had once served mere shadows cast on palace walls? The truth, now a beast awakened, demanded its due, roaring for recognition amidst an ever-deepening societal divide. With mysteries unveiled, the monarchy hovered at the edge of transformation, its foundations quivering under the strain of untold discoveries. Who would embrace the oncoming storm? As cracks in their splendid tableau grew, spreading ever outward, the monarchy found itself facing a truth as relentless and powerful as the passage of time itself. The coming chapters unfurled like the striking of midnight bells, each carrying questions unasked and answers awaited. As kingdoms trembled with anticipation, what laid ahead was unknown, a mystery encrypted within the shadows, promising a revolution unlike any seen before. A king and kingdom standing at the fault line, poised on the brink of a future yet unwritten. In the heart of the royal court, a shadow appeared, whispering secrets that danced through the marble halls. The once sturdy walls seemed to tremble as murmurs of betrayal swept through the kingdom, like an unsought storm creeping upon a quaint village. This was a realm built upon grandeur and spectacle, but beneath its illustrious veneer, deception simmered like a pot on the verge of bubbling over. As whispers bloomed into a chilling crescendo, those who thrived in the shadows came to light, an unveiling that would shatter the very soul of the monarchy. Rumours reached fever pitch as the royal advisors, whose allegiance should have been untarnished, were exposed one by one. Their hushed conversations had woven tapestries of conspiracy, threading plots too dark for daylight and drinking deeply from cups laced with ambition. The court, once a stage for resplendent ceremonies, now felt an ominous tension within its thriving heart. The monarch, isolated by deception, never foresaw the extent to which her empire's foundation was compromised. Her trusted confidants, now revealed as master puppeteers, had orchestrated a dance of ruin right beneath her watchful eyes. The sheer audacity of their betrayal ricocheted through the court, an echo of past reveries crumbling into uncertainty. These revelations, however, were not to be the final chapter, for just as the crown began to slip, a beacon emerged amidst the despair. In this fight to reclaim honor, an unexpected alliance formed. Those who once trembled in the shadow of these treacheries rose, their loyalty now sharper than any blade drawn in battle. They marched toward truth with courage deemed steadfast, gathering momentum like a rising tide posed to cleanse the shore of its sullied secrets. And within this tumult, the line between friend and foe blurred, overseen by the resolute conviction of a ruler determined not to yield. But as the dust settled on a chapter closed, another revelation silently loomed, a promise that what was known was but a fragment, leaving a question lingering like smoke. What other secrets lay cloaked, awaiting the dawn of discovery? At the palace, once echoed with secrets, now embraced the gentle hum of reconciliation. The intricate tapestry of lies had unraveled, leaving space for new threads of trust to be woven in its stead. Princess Anne's revelation, though shocking, served as a catalyst, uniting the kingdom in their shared pursuit of renewal. Her unwavering voice, a lighthouse guiding vessels through tempest, became emblematic of a new dawn. Catherine's absence, now understood in the light of truth, washed away the whispers that had circled her. With clarity restored, the court welcomed her return, not as a figure of mystery, but as a cherished link in a chain that bound them all. Her journey, punctuated by solitude and rediscovery, redefined resilience, and her presence offered a balm to a bruised nation. As the shadows of deceit receded, the kingdom breathed a collective sigh, finding solace in the promise of peace. The winds of change, once feared, now carried whispers of hope across the land. And so, under the canopy of a clear sky, with past turbulence now a distant memory, the realm embarked upon its new chapter, emboldened by lessons learned and the enduring light of its guiding stars. Together, they stood at the threshold of possibility, bound by shared history and visions of what was to come. An empire once fractured, now healed, inching toward horizon's embrace, eager for what awaited beyond.